Think about the last time you picked up a simple jigsaw puzzle piece, turned it over in your hand, and felt that satisfying little click when it found its rightful place. Now take that childlike wonder and stretch it into a sophisticated, abstract expression carved entirely from wood. No cartoon images, no clear picture waiting at the end, just an interlocking dance of shapes and grains that fits together in unexpected ways. This is the soul of abstract wood puzzle art pieces. An art form where the joy isn't just in looking at the final composition but in the tactile discovery of how each segment connects and relates to the others. It's a physical poem that invites your fingertips to read it line by line. Imagine entering a quiet gallery or a warm living room, where on a wide table sits a seemingly chaotic scatter of thick wooden tiles. Each one is cut from a different species, maybe pale ash, dark walnut, streaky zebrawood, or a slice of ancient oak with a hidden knot right at its heart. Some pieces are smooth arcs, some jagged teeth, others odd little tabs that jut out in unexpected directions. Alone, they might look accidental, but together they promise a secret order waiting for someone curious enough to unlock it. Unlike a children's puzzle with a glossy box cover to guide you, abstract wood puzzle art is deliberately open-ended. There's no right image, only the right fit. Each segment clicks into its neighbor with a satisfying snugness, edges sanded so precisely that even the tightest corner feels smooth under your thumb. Some artists craft these puzzles as wall pieces. Once assembled, the entire composition can be lifted as a single unit and hung like a painting, held together by the friction of its own interlocking form or discrete pegs embedded where eyes can't see. The making of these pieces is as hypnotic as the solving. It begins with selecting beautiful wood offcuts, those leftover planks that would otherwise gather dust or end up in the firewood pile. For some makers, part of the magic is respecting the wood's quirks. A surprise burl, a tiny crack, a swirl of unusual grain. These flaws become intentional focal points. The artist might sketch an abstract pattern freehand directly onto the plank surface, a looping maze of lines that twist and turn unpredictably, ensuring no two puzzles will ever be the same. Cutting comes next, a delicate process often done with a scroll saw or a fine bandsaw blade. Every turn of the saw must follow the flowing lines precisely. One slip and the piece won't fit back in place. Unlike mass-produced puzzles stamped out by machines, here each cut is a small act of trust between the maker's steady hands and the grain's secret path. Edges are then filed, sanded, and sometimes lightly burned or stained to accentuate the contrast between adjoining shapes. Finishing touches bring the puzzle to life. A light oil or wax coating deepens the wood's natural tones, pulling out hidden lines in the grain. The pieces are buffed until they feel like river stones, smooth but never slippery, warm to the touch, inviting you to pick them up over and over again. Some abstract puzzle artists push the concept further, designing three-dimensional puzzles that can be reconfigured in multiple ways. Imagine thick wooden blocks shaped like wedges, arcs and curls, each with hidden notches and slots. You can assemble them into a tidy sphere, then pull them apart and rebuild a tall twisting tower or a sprawling pattern on the floor. These kinetic sculptures blur the line between puzzle, toy, and interactive art. Collectors love the meditative quality these puzzles bring to a space. They don't just sit passively on a shelf, they beg to be rearranged, disassembled, reassembled, a daily ritual that quiets the mind and sharpens focus. Some families place an abstract wood puzzle on a coffee table, leaving it partly undone for guests to fiddle with absent-mindedly during conversation. Over time, fingerprints polish the edges even smoother, and the puzzle absorbs a soft sheen from countless hands. Wall-mounted abstract puzzle art adds another layer of intrigue. Imagine a large panel of interlocking wooden shapes in varying shades: golden maple, reddish cherry, dark ebony. As light shifts throughout the day, the grain patterns catch and scatter shadows, so the whole composition feels alive. Some panels hide secret compartments or movable sections. One piece lifts out to reveal a hollow nook behind it, perfect for tucking away a handwritten note or a tiny keepsake. In some cultures, wood puzzles carry deep symbolism. The act of fitting pieces together mirrors the assembling of ideas, memories, or even family ties. Abstract versions take this metaphor further, celebrating imperfection and unpredictability. There is no one final picture to reach. Instead, the arrangement itself becomes an ongoing reflection of how you see connections in that moment. Making your own abstract wood puzzle can be as rewarding as owning one. Start with scrap wood. Mismatched species give lovely contrast. Sketch random flowing shapes or geometric blocks directly onto the surface, then cut slowly with a fine blade. Test each piece as you go, refining the fit until they slide together with a gentle push. Sand thoroughly so no edge snags a finger. Finish with an oil that soaks deep into the fibers, and you'll have an object that begs to be touched and reimagined, again and again. Some woodworkers take the concept into modern territory by blending in other materials. Brass inlays trace along the seams where two puzzle pieces meet, adding a glint of metal to the warm wood. Resin fills tiny voids, bringing splashes of translucent color, amber, teal, smoky gray, that catch light like stained glass. Magnets hidden inside the thicker blocks help hold the arrangement together invisibly, so you can tilt or hang the piece without worrying it will tumble apart. For a truly ambitious piece, imagine a floor-standing puzzle sculpture. Waist-high, broad and sturdy, each segment large enough to be lifted with both hands. Visitors could rearrange the blocks into different forms, a seating bench one moment, a winding bench snake the next. In this way, the puzzle is not only art but furniture, playful architecture that changes to match your mood or your gathering. Abstract wood puzzle art has a timeless appeal because it blends tactile satisfaction with aesthetic curiosity. It doesn't scream for attention with bright colors or flashy images. It whispers. It invites a pause. It rewards a wandering hand and an inquisitive mind. In a world stuffed with digital distractions, a simple wooden puzzle piece, cut with care, sanded smooth, fitted snugly against its kin, reconnects us to the slow, thoughtful delight of making things fit just right. So, whether displayed proudly on a wall, scattered invitingly across a table, or handed from friend to friend at a gathering, these abstract puzzles remind us that art doesn't have to be distant or untouchable. Sometimes, the best kind of art is the one you can pull apart and build anew, feeling the gentle tug of the grain beneath your fingertips as you search for that perfect, satisfying click, a tiny echo of order in a wonderfully chaotic world. Some people hang wooden art on the wall so it can sit politely and be admired from a safe distance. Abstract wood puzzle art pieces don't care about polite distance. They want your hands. They dare you to figure them out. They sit there looking innocent until you try to pull them apart, then they fight back with hidden joints and unexpected moves that make you feel either like a genius or a fool. It starts with solid blocks, not plywood, not scrap nailed together, but real chunks of hardwood. Maple, walnut, cherry, or exotic woods with grains so tight you can carve it to paper-thin tolerances without it splintering at the worst possible time. Each block gets measured and cut with mind-numbing accuracy because a good puzzle leaves no wiggle room. Too loose and it feels cheap. Too tight and you break it trying to solve it. Some puzzle art stays simple. A few interlocking pieces you slide and twist apart with a gentle tug and a click. Others look simple but hide a cruel secret. They come apart only in one specific sequence, one wrong move and you're stuck. Puzzle artists have a wicked sense of humor. They know people can't resist a block that promises to come undone if you're clever enough. They build that itch right into the grain. And unlike store-bought puzzles that copy old designs, abstract wood puzzle art breaks the rules. Shapes might be geometric but they don't follow a pattern you've seen before. They twist around corners, bury hidden pins, include angled cuts that disguise where one piece stops and the next begins. Some hide drawers or secret compartments. Some split open to reveal another tiny puzzle inside like a wooden Russian doll for puzzle nerds. Building one of these is equal parts math and mischief. You sketch the shape. You plan the hidden lines. You cut carefully, sanding every face so it glides perfectly. Then you test it. Take it apart, put it back together, over and over until it feels satisfying. Not too easy, never impossible. You want that sweet spot where people think they'll solve it in a minute, then find themselves still turning it over 20 minutes later. Finishing matters. Smooth surfaces so nothing sticks. Bare wood so the solver can feel the grain shift under their fingertips, or a light oil to make the colors pop and the edges gleam. No paint to hide sloppy cuts. Puzzle people want to see clean join lines and crisp corners. That's half the bragging rights. Good puzzle art doesn't need a shelf or frame. It sits on a table, begs to be picked up, passed around, shown off. Some collectors keep them on desks as worry toys for restless hands. Some put them under glass like precious artifacts. But the truth is, a puzzle you can't touch is just a block of wood pretending to be interesting. Solving one is a quiet thrill. No batteries, no screen, just brain and fingers. Twist, pull, push. Feel how the grain gives away tiny hints. Notice how a gap opens up when you slide this piece just right. Some puzzles require force, a sharp push at exactly the right angle. Others open with the gentlest coaxing, like convincing a locked door to swing wide without a key. For the artist, the real fun is in watching other people struggle. You hand over your innocent-looking puzzle. You watch the confidence fade to frustration, then spark back to excitement when they finally crack it open. If they give up, they hand it back sheepishly. And if they solve it fast, you know you'll make the next one harder. Something that looks easy but hides its secrets deeper so the next solver can't show off so quickly. Big or small, simple or devious, abstract wood puzzle art is proof that woodworking doesn't have to be useful to matter. It doesn't hold books, support a roof, or store dishes. It just exists to be played with, to test the limits of patience and observation. In a world obsessed with instant answers, a good puzzle makes you slow down, fumble, laugh at yourself, and feel proud when it finally clicks apart in your hands. So next time you hold a block of leftover wood, don't see a shelf or a spoon blank. See a shape hidden inside, waiting to come apart in exactly one impossible way. Cut carefully. Hide the trick. Sand until it slides smooth as silk. Then watch what happens when someone can't resist picking it up. That's puzzle art, honest wood turned into a little secret waiting to be solved.